All the technology is done.
Yay! Divi!
Yay! Welcome, everyone. I did it.
Hi, everybody.
Feel like Dora. I know. Hi, everyone. It is the 21st of December. Yay. Welcome. So how are you guys? How are you? How are you? How are you?
Things.
How are you? Tell us how you are.
How are you?
Are we good? Are we good? Are we good? Are we good? Are we excited? Are we excited about tonight? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. Good home for the holidays. Excited for sure. Awesome, Abby.
You know, they're mine. I'm good. Yes, I'm excited for tonight. Thank
awesome,
you.
Bonnie.
Kind of get a whoop.
Funny night tonight. Oh my God. So funny.
It's like, wait, it's like jingle the bells. Where's the jingle bells? You know, jingle bells, you know. Are you guys?
Aman's here. Jan's here. Hi, guys.
Hi. Oh, hi, Jan. How are you, honey?
Hey, Aman. I'm glad you guys got the right link.
Oh, yeah.
Dawn, you're here. Yay.
Thanks for paying attention. Hey, Dawn. That's so cool that you guys are in touch.
Yay. Amazing. So welcome, guys. Hi, ladies. Hi, Aman. How are you? I think I see you tomorrow. I'm excited. Awesome, guys. So welcome, everyone. We'll just jump right in. It's December 21st. We're doing the last webinar of our series. So thank you, those of you who are showing up live. Thank you for those of you watching the recording. I know, actually, I'm hearing from a lot of you how much you've gotten out of the webinar series. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for showing up. And thank you for participating live or recorded, because we can feel your energy. And thank you for the amazing feedback. Like, I've had some amazing feedback. People are getting things from a lot of the processes we're teaching. Somebody emailed me the other day saying, I just did light body with you guys, and I think I'm going to go float. It's better than marijuana, is what he wrote.
Awesome.
So, you know, it's the holidays, and I really honor each of you for coming. Tanya, welcome. I honor each of you for coming and showing up a couple days before Christmas. So welcome.
Yeah,
and
that's a big deal.
It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah, because the holidays is a great time to all kinds of things to go cattywampus, right? Our emotions, the energy, the busyness, you know, the expectations, the attachments.
Yeah.
Right. And hi, Jane. I love you, darling. I know it. I can feel you. I can feel it was tough, and I'm with you. I just want you to know. I'm sending you lots of love.
And it is work. I know, it's crazy, isn't it? I get it. But the beautiful thing of you guys showing up is that you're saying to yourself, the universe, and everyone, that you're choosing to put yourself first. With all of the craziness back here, it's like, if I take care of me, then things shift. So right. I honor you for showing up so much.
Big time. I mean, especially given how this being here, taking the time to even watch the recording and be present with such a busy season, it really is saying, hey, this is my commitment to me. I'm really committed. I'm desiring this. And it's not like you're going after it, because you don't have to, because you already have it, right? But it's like this is conscious business, is where people can really, things can get wobbly, right?
And most people, in fact, are afraid of creating a business. Most people are afraid of what happens. Most people are afraid of taking that step. So the fact that you guys are showing up tonight, conscious business, what's that, right? Yeah. And we're going to spend some time talking about that tonight. But maybe, even though everyone knows this, maybe we'll spend a second introducing ourselves for the people who watch the recording.
Okay. So, that's awesome.
Go for it.
Okay, so if it's the first time you're watching the recording, that's like our little thing. We do that every time. You go. No, you go. So hi, everyone. I'm Lynnettte Brown. I'm an intuitive success coach, a law of attraction coach. I've been in the intuitive business for over 20 years professionally. And I came to this work through working in the legal world, and at a job that basically was successful on looking on the outside showed up money and all, connections and all kinds of great things like that. But in the inside, my heart, it's just, I was crying every day at lunch, was miserable, unhappy, and unsatisfied. And basically got in touch and with my guidance and basically said, this is it. I'm going to do this for a living. And went and got certified, been through a lot of courses and all kinds of great stuff. But through all of that, and tonight we're talking about conscious business, what I've learned through all the things of doing and not doing and watching my mentors and my colleagues and seeing all the growth, the difference it makes between having a conscious business and an unconscious business. So that's how I got here. I'm excited to be here. I want to welcome all of you. Thank you for the time and the energy. And I really appreciate all of you being here. And I'm so grateful to Divi because she is providing this for all of us.
Yeah.
Right? Yay!
So welcome everyone. I'm Dr. Divi. I'm super uber excited to be here. And I'll talk about conscious business in just a second. But as most of you know, I'm a family physician by trade. And I realized the day that it's actually been 24 years. And one thing I remember about a year, most of you have heard this story that I kind of questioned medicine and kind of why people got sick. And then when I got ill myself, and I actually realized in my own healing journey how relatively simple healing was, but it's just not taught. And yet the way our minds are trained, or at least I'll say it, speak to my own mind, was trained, which I think a lot of you can relate to, is opposite to the methods and the modalities that's required to heal. And I remember so many times along the journey thinking to myself, but why isn't this more well-known? Why aren't more people practicing this? Why aren't da, 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 da? It's because if you're spending a week doubled over because your stomach is hurting, you're missing work, you're not in your relationship with your partner, and, big pharma is helping you, but it's not getting rid of it. And other things you're doing are helping, but not getting rid of it. When I really realized that the answer was here and here, wow. And that's what really had pushed me to do what I do. And then along the journey, as a lot of you know, like Lynnettte, I've taken a lot of courses. And really early in the journey, about 8 or 9 years ago, in terms of my journey of creating my conscious business, I'm very much like, okay, especially when it comes to my business, I don't want to waste time. I just want to create it. And most of you know, I had run a yoga studio for 10 years prior and had gone through the journey of that and been quite successful at it, but at the same time had some crashes with it. So when I moved back to the mainland after doing a lot of my training, consciously sought out a business intuitive coach, and that's when I met Lynnettte. And didn't find her online, met her through literally word of mouth, the universe sending her to me. And I haven't left. She has been a huge spearhead for me creating my business. Like, honestly, people ask me, how did you do it? I actually give her all the credit, even though I know it's here. But she has helped me to keep my mind out of the gutter. And she speaks about it a lot. We're going to talk about it tonight. For those of us who run spiritual businesses, healing businesses, she talks a lot about how we can go sideways because it's so easy, because we've done this every lifetime gone by, right? We've given so much. And this time, we're not going to give, we're going to receive too. And ever since I've worked with Lynnettte, she'll tell you it's not like a straight, but there's like, but generally it's like this, right? You get a few little dips, like step 5s, right? Go up, little dip. And then, but the thing is, it is like this if you're consciously doing it. Because your business, we're going to talk about business in a second, is simply a reflection of this. And when I really got that, it was like, okay, I don't have to post 1,000 posts a day on Facebook. I don't have to go put up flyers about what I do. And one of the beautiful things for me is I've created my business purely from my heart. And for you guys to be here on December 21st, 4 days before Christmas, it's such a huge gift. So thank you. Like, honestly, thank you. And, I can't thank you enough. You're part of my dream. And so, yeah. So I'm excited you guys are here.
Part of my dream too. I love you guys. Yeah. Awesome.
So tonight, when we're talking about conscious business, please feel free to type in. I just did a quick scroll of the names. I know most of you, and I know some of you are creating businesses. Some of you want to create businesses. Some of you have beliefs that you can't create a business. You're too old. I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it my way, all of which is great. So I just want to ask you, the first question I want to ask you is, do you want to create a business? Do you want to create a successful business? Is that something that you want for yourself? And it doesn't have to be coaching. It doesn't have to be a healing business. It could be a coffee shop. It could be a fitness industry. It could be a nail salon. Like, does anyone have a desire to get off the rat race of working, say, for someone else and actually create for yourself? So let me know. I know. Oh, thank you, Abby. Yes. Okay. Awesome. Yeah.
And that's important too, because to realize it's like you're part of your offering. I'm going to call it offering right now. We're calling it conscious business, but your offering to the world is part of the reason why you're here. It's your passion. It's why you have the passion that you do. It's why we talk about niches, right? And I don't want you to feel like you need to put yourself in a box. That's not what this is. It's like, if could be your offering. Like Jan, she's an amazing artist, right? Incredible. I know one day I'm going to own one of her pieces. I'm really clear about it. Love her work. And, here she's this amazing artist, and she might not want to have an intuitive business. She might want to have an intuitive art or healing through art or whatever. Right. So that's important. Yeah. I'm glad that you guys are like, oh yeah, nutrition and retreat business. Awesome, Julie.
And I already have a healing business, but I want to grow it. The Numbin Rights, I never really thought about it, but something inside of me wants it. And then, intuitive painting, finding the divine feminine from Jan. And then Dawn writes, I definitely need to not have a boss. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you'll have a boss, but it'll be you. Right.
And one thing I want to say in reference to what Emma was saying, something inside of me wants it. If something inside of you wants it, then yes, it's there, and yes, you can do it, and yes, and it's not so much how, but there's a path about creating conscious business, and it's very individual, but it's also very much in my own personal experience, because don't forget, I ran the yoga studio for 10 years, 8 to 10 years. There are so many like gutters that we can fly into, right? And yet the path is something that once we start, we never want to get off of it. It's like, oh, right, that's easy. Oh, that's easy. Oh, that's easy.
Exactly.
Right? And something they want me to say as well, because I know there's a number of healers and obviously retreat business. I can hear some of you saying, oh my God, everybody wants to do the same thing. Right? Do you want to speak to that, Lynnette?
Oh, yes, I do. That's the competition conversation, right? And understand that each and every one of you is a divine attribute of source, unique only to you. So no one can get your clients. No one, even if you have the exact same businesses, doesn't matter. No one is doing it the way you're doing it. Even if you were trained by the same people, you're different. What you're going to add to it, your life experiences, what you add to it is totally different than Mary over here, right?
And we could have 12 people running nutrition, healing businesses, and 13 other people, running intuitive businesses in a small area. We might think it's saturated, and there's no such thing as saturation at all. Once you realize that your clients, my husband went to the office today, worked from home today. He brought home a sticky note with a phone number on it. He said, oh, can you call this woman? You saw her a few months ago. Her friend just got diagnosed with cancer. She wants some help. I can tell you guys straight up that client's more likely to come to me than Lynnette, right? Yeah. No big deal. No big deal, right?
100%, right.
And it's just because of my path, right? And then I've had clients who I've referred to Lynnette predominantly because they want to create strong businesses, and that creating a business, for me, coaching that isn't my forte. My forte are these clients, right? And so when we really recognize, and even though you'll be watching Lynnette and I and think, well, we do similar things, which is true, we're also very individual and different and individuated, and we have our own, if you want to call it, stamp.
Right.
Yeah. Ursula writes, I'm in real estate, but it does not fulfill me. I want a new business that is aligned with my life purpose.
Ooh, I like that, Ursula.
I just got this rush of emotions for her. Like, whew.
Me too, because you know what? That's what had me leave the legal world. I was literally crying every day at lunch, and I was a single mom with 2 kids. And, you know, I was like, that's it. I'd been pushed to my max. It was either that or put a bullet in my head. That's how I felt. I mean, that's how tormented I got. I had to have that much contrast to step away. Now, hopefully you don't need that much. I mean, for me, it was like, man, I felt like as soon as I stepped away, I felt like my life was totally different, even though I had no idea what I was going to do.
I'm wondering if you could spend a second talking a bit about light workers, because I know there's a number of people on the call I don't know. So maybe, because I think everyone on the call are light workers, but they, you know, like she was just saying, I want to follow my life purpose, right? Yeah. I'm commenting on it too. So do you want to speak to that for a second?
Yeah, definitely. Life purpose is in my world, you know, Abraham talks about we're here to experience joy. And one of the ways that we experience joy is through our life purpose. Because when we are living our life purpose, everything, I mean, there's ease and grace. Of course, there's contrast, but there's always ease and grace. Things happen quickly, fast, you know, like boom, there it is. So when you are on purpose, your purpose, you know, if you're not clear about what your purpose is the things that you do even if you didn't get paid. Your purpose is the things that you find yourself standing on a soapbox lecturing to anybody who'll listen. Your purpose is the things that you are so passionate about that you'll, you know, stop whatever you're doing to tend to that. That's your purpose, you know. You know, your kids, of course, your kids are your purpose, right? If you're a mom, right, or a dad, you know, they're your purpose, and you learn a lot through them. But that's not the reason why the sole reason why you're on the planet was not to just give birth or to have a child. You have your own divine purpose. And I needed to say that because there's some moms, I'm hearing some mom conversation going on.
And if you feel like you can't figure out your life purpose, a really simple technique, and I think we can all just think of it for a second, go to chapters, look at your books on your bookshelf. What do you gravitate towards? So when Ed and I go to the bookstore together, he gravitates towards fitness and like sports type stuff, like every sport book, you know, and my son is still figuring out where he gravitates to because it sort of varies. And I always gravitate to, if you call it the self-development section, or cooking too, because I like to cook. But it's like I always gravitate there. You'll very rarely find me in the sports section. But like Lynnette was saying, it's the thing that if I'm hanging out with my girlfriend, what do I want to talk about? Right? What does she want to talk about? And we always end up in this conversation about you know who we are as humans. And that's where I find that I could do this work all day and not get bored.
Exactly. And here's the great thing about it too, is like this, when you are living your life purpose, and that, you know, the great thing about it is, and we talk about, you know, you could do it for free, but there's an equal exchange, folks. This is not out there overextending yourself and not receiving, right? This is not about that. It's not that conversation. It's not the martyr conversation. It's about the empowerment of, this is who I am. I can't wait to share this with you. And people are going to go, oh my gosh, I have to have that. And I don't care how much it costs. Just give it to me.
And the way we've set up the coaching program, I had a client the other day who wants to start personal trainer for moms and pregnant moms and postnatal moms, and a couple of other things she's adding to that business. But she's taking the coaching program with us. She may add some intuition. She will add some intuition. She will add mind, body, spirit, but it's not going to be the way I do it.
Right.
She's going to do
Exactly.
it
It
if
won't
she's
be the way
training.
that I do it either. Right.
Exactly. So as much as you might think, well, this whole mind, body, spirit coaching thing is about coaching. She's like, no, 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 Divi, I know that this is about, if I'm training a woman who's sad in her pregnancy to have a feeling of what to say to her, to get a sense as to some techniques to give her, because it's more than just doing bicep curls, right? And because she wants to create a holistic center for herself and her clients. So you can see, as much as we've called this the Mind, Body, Spirit Coaching Program, really it's a healing journey for a year. And you'll learn so many tools and techniques. And at the end, if you want to add it to what you're already doing, or use it more as a personal thing, or create a coaching business, which is probably going to be different, Lynnette's and I's, because it's going to be yours. It's going to be your individuated program. That's the whole year represents all of that plus more. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, I love that. So perfect.
And Danya writes in, I've never found a job that I liked. I've had a hard time keeping jobs, and I'm 42 years old.
That doesn't surprise me. That's because you're supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing. I mean, when that kind of situation happens, that they're showing me you're like a grasshopper. And you don't think it, I'm sorry, I'm going into an intuitive reading, but you don't realize it, but you are moving forward. You're learning different skills. But they're telling me to remind you, though, that sometimes you forget and you have to repeat the lesson a couple of times. So just that. And honey, this is about you living your life purpose, whatever that looks like for you, right? It's like, I would have never in a million years said that I would have been a intuitive success coach. No, an intuitive, yeah, I mean, that's kind of easy. Stage work, super easy for me. No problem, right? But I love digging in deep. And it's just trust your desire. Trust the desire within you, that it's leading you to your purpose.
And I'll echo that, and I want to speak to something else in a second. But I remember being 26 years old. I just graduated med school. I was walking up and down the silent chapters, and I grabbed this book by a woman called Judith Orloff, and she had written a book on intuition, and she's a physician. I think it was the first book of that kind. And I went home and I read it, and I cried and cried and cried. And I said, how can this woman do that? How can she do this? And now, 20 years later or so, I'm doing it. Right? It was less than 20 years after I read that book that I started my new business. So what I want you to understand is that desire had woken up as tears were gushing down my face as I was reading that book. And Lynnette was tuning into Amin a second ago and said, I'm going into a intuitive reading. So I just want to share with you guys, because I've gotten emails from so many of you interested in the program, excited about the program. And Lynnette and I are opening up, for those of you who want to register by January 8th, you just put down the deposit. If you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see the PayPal thing for the deposit. And then we can figure out the payment plan after. But if you can enroll by the 8th of January, then what will happen is Lynnette and I are setting up 15-minute intuitive sessions and kind of like group coaching sessions for the three of us. It'll just be me and her and you. And we've done a few of them, and they've been amazing. But what we've done is we've been holding the space for that person so we could understand why they want to take the program, help them to kind of clear the trees so they can see their path. And then we can hold space for all three of us, can hold that space for each other. And Lynnette and I can be in your energy and vice versa, so we can get a taste of you prior to the course starting. So that's January 8th, if you can let us know. And the sooner the better, because right now we've got to book a whole bunch of people.
Yes.
So that would be awesome. So we're not delaying it.
The other thing that I like about doing that, meeting with you, is one of my big questions that I'm going to ask all of you is I want to know, Divi and I both want to know, what do you want to get out of this? What do you want? Like, that's going to be a question we're going to ask you for the next year. Like, we are going to really encourage you to get in touch with what you really want, your desire.
Lynnette, can you speak to this? I'm going to deal with Abby's thing. Ursula asked, I'm still not clear about my purpose, but self-development and healing myself has occupied my life for the last 15 years.
Oh, wow. Then you definitely are a coach of some sort or a helper. You're a light worker. No doubt about it. I mean, from day one, most of my life, I either went to the psychology section, the self-help section, or like Divi, I'm cooking. You know, I do cooking stuff. So, though, you know, and art stuff. But that tells you a lot, honey. Definitely. The last 15 years. How about getting paid for that? All that 15 years that you've been studying that stuff. Do you realize that that whole experience of all the books that you've read, all the relationships, good, bad, and ugly, you know, that you've gone through, all of your collaborative life experience goes into your work, your purpose, whatever it is that you're doing in the world, you're offering into the world.
Ursula, I always make this joke with myself and my husband, and it's a bit of a joke, but I get paid for every yoga class I've taken, every tear I've shed, every shift I've made within myself. And he laughs at it because he says, God, Divi, you know, people love what you do, and you don't have to go study. You don't have to go, you know, do anything. You know, with my medical license, I have to keep up my education credits. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. I've got to conferences. And he said, man, he always jokes that it's an easy gig. He's never seen anyone who loves her work so much and can just sit on a laptop all day. That's what I spend my day, is sitting on my laptop. And he said, but Ed, you don't get it. Like, people are not just paying me, but exchanging money for the shift that's occurring in their life because of the shift I made in mine. So Ursula, you know, you've been at this for 15 years. So like Lynnette said, is it time to kind of then take that to the next level? Because if you've been doing it for 15 years, then there's a calling in you that there's a deeper desire to deepen. And Lynnette referred to how, you know, she's all about the deep stuff. And it's true. This course is not fluffy. It ain't kind of like just, what do we call it? Mirrors and whatever. It's
broken mirrors.
That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, magic.
It's deep. It's deep.
Because, well, and that's because of mine and Divi's commitment to hold you and to be with you and to guide you. And I can't tell you how many times, you know, it's happened to me. I've seen it happened to other clients, unfortunately, other people that, you know, they sign up for something and they go into a program and then the person just disappears. I mean, you know, they show up, but they really don't have this kind of connection. And that's why I want to tell you, Divi and I are not that. This is like, we really, you know, you will literally be part of our family. This is not something that, you know, it's an energetic, it's a connection. It's a divine connection. And it's something we feel very strongly about. And, you know, just want you to know that you're going to be held. We've got you. We've got you. What were you going to, what?
I just took it. Abby said I don't see the link, so I just sent it to her. So I just put it on the page, guys, on the chat page. But I want to piggyback that. So Lynnette and I did the intuition course up in Whistler a few months ago. And there was a woman in the course who was relatively new to me, and obviously even newer to Lynnette. Yeah. And she took the course, and I work with her occasionally since. And she says to me, sometimes in her dreams, Lynnette comes to visit. Sometimes in meditation, I'll come to visit. And it's like this, like it's like we're always holding that space for each other to always expand and always grow and always like shift into who you are. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the reasons when I approached Lynnette to do this with me, it meant like the world to me that she said yes. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so great. Not that either of us can't do this alone, but with two of us, it's like a deeper container. And yeah.
So powerful.
Perfect. So before we kind of go into the process tonight, I thought we'd spend a couple seconds maybe just describing our own separate businesses and then addressing questions you might have and talking about business creation. So maybe I'll go first just because mine is a briefer. Yeah. So my business is actually super easy. Lynnette's a little bit more deeper, which is awesome. So I just want you to get an idea of how different coaches can set up very different practices.
Right. So
my clients basically come and see me when they want to see me. That's basically how I work. I have a number of clients who I see weekly. I do. I have a number of clients who see them weekly. And then I have other clients who see me kind of sporadically. Now, sporadically, I mean every 2 weeks. I mean every month. I don't have a lot of clients who see me less than that. But when they start to come every 2 weeks or every month, they really start to notice the difference. but I don't say you have to come. So I do have the odd client who I might not see for 6 months. And that's because I've given them a session, and just who and where they're at in their life, they want to sit with that for a while before they join me for the next session. So that's basically how I work. And then I also teach a lot of groups and workshops. I do have a ton of online courses people can take that I've developed over the 8 years that I've been doing this. So that's kind of how I set up my business. It's different than Lynnette's, though. So go ahead.
So my business started off basically just doing strictly intuitive sessions, and mediumship sessions. And basically just getting referred out. I've done stage work, big, I can do it, that kind of stuff. Which is all great, and loved it, did the television, all that kind of stuff, loved it. Here's the thing, for me, what I love is I wanted to be able to work, to be connected, and be able to do and be wherever I wanted to do and be. Because I have 2 grandbabies. I have a son who's just graduated. Well, he's finishing his residency and going into his fellowship, but he finished at med school and took my 2 grandbabies and his wife up to North Carolina, which I think is pretty rude. No, I'm kidding. So the thing is, because I'm mama, who I am, is like I want to be able to go up there for a week or 2 weeks, and I've done that. I want to be able to work, be connected, but be wherever I am. If I'm in Hawaii, I can still do sessions. If I'm in Alaska, wherever I am, so with my client base, I found that I love to go deeper. Like Divi says, my thing is I like to dig in deep. I like to really focused intention on living your life, living law, universal law. How, being accountable for, blah, 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 and all these kinds of things, building, literally, what are you building, deep into what am I creating? And to do that, I have a coaching practice that I do intuitive sessions still, right? But for my coaching practice, I have a commitment up front of 3 months minimum. And it's a weekly process. You meet with me once a week on the phone. And then I also do an energy session with my clients when they're not on the phone. So this is like to collaborate and work with the energy, with the whole thing. And then, so my work is intensive. Wouldn't you say, Divi?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I guess I don't, to be honest, I've never really looked at it that way, but here's why. That's how I live my life, right? My girlfriends, that's who they are. They're like, oh my gosh, they'll talk. We'll spend an hour talking about, something that they came into awareness about, right? So it's not like, oh, and then I got these shoes. Right. It's not that. It's the spiritual aspect. It's the soul part. So that's what fuels me. That's what drives me.
Yeah.
So did I explain?
Yeah, beautiful. And, I know, Lynnette, you predominantly work with businesses, right? Like getting people to create businesses. Is that right?
Right. Or people who want to create businesses. Yeah, pretty much. Now that I'm looking at it. Yeah. I do have some people who are businesses sometimes. Okay. So a lot of people that I work with too, I work with celebrities and artists and stuff, and their business is them. So they may not be in the business of like a mom and pop shop or being a CFO or an astronaut or whatever, right? Does that make sense?
It does. Okay. And so you get to select if who you work with.
I have an application process.
Right. For me, I work with everybody. So when you're working with Lynnette, she knows pretty much every area of my life, from my sex life to my health to my yoga life. Like, she knows all that. And when I work with clients, I tend to work a lot with clients with relationship issues, health issues, life purpose issues. Those are kind of the 3 main areas I work in. I don't work a lot with, I do work a little bit with addictions, not a ton, but a little bit. I do work a little bit with sexual issues. Again, it's not my forte. I don't work a ton with issues with kids, but I know some people on the call here will want to do that stuff. Like, you might want to work with moms who have kids. That's just not my main forte, right? I do sometimes ask Lynnette questions about my son, but If I wanted a reading just for Raj, no offense, I might go to someone who only does kids. Does that kind of make sense? So you will learn in the coaching program who your forte is, what it is, right? I mean, I love to work with people with health issues, because when people actually realize the connection between their emotions and their health, they never leave. And I would say 99% of my business, well, 100% is built by word of mouth, but 99%, like, because it's all just energy, right? But 99% is like so-and-so told so-and-so to so-and-so. And then 1% is people like Googling me and then just energetically being drawn to me. So people think it's from like my TEDx experience or my global TV spots I do or all the new stuff I do. It's not. It's not. It's from Joe telling Jill, telling John, telling Jack. That's how my business has grown. And yeah, it's not, you can be on ABC News and Dr. Oz, but it's not going to necessarily like kaput your business, because I'm hearing from some of you out there, how do I get those gigs that Divi has? Or, Lynnette, she's been in front of Hollywood people. Like, how do I get that? So in my experience, you don't create your business that way. Those are avenues, but they're not how you create a business. Does that make sense?
Right. And the biggest thing is your passion. And the funny thing too, you'll find is that sometimes you'll think, oh, that's boring. I already know that. And it's because you've been, like Amin said, studying it for 15 years. You know every author on the subject. Perfect person to go to about that.
Right.
Yeah. And like Divi said, I focus on businesses, but for me, it's about intuition and money and collaboration, which is the business part, right? So those are my big three.
Yeah. And the one thing that I've discovered, because I obviously know a lot of people who have run their own business, because we're talking about conscious business. The one thing, and I think Lynnette will echo this, the one thing that kaputs people the most is what? What do you guys think? Let me just see what you guys think. What do you guys think the one thing as to why people can't create their business, or what, like, in my opinion, like you're like, read her mind. Exactly. So what do you guys get? What do you guys guess? Self-doubt. How do you write self-doubt? What else do you guys think? Not believing. Read my mind. Fear to failure. Yeah. Good out there. Yeah. Anyone else want to type anything else in?
Did Bonnie say anything?
I don't think Bonnie's.
What do you think, Bonnie on there?
Bonnie's on here, but she hasn't typed in.
Oh. I felt Bonnie for some reason.
Bonnie's like, oh no.
Oh no, don't focus on me.
So I'll just jump in here. So yeah, it's exactly that. It's exactly what all of you guys wrote. It's not believing. Wouldn't you say, Lynnette?
Yes, 100%. 100%.
It's the belief in here. And one of the reasons we did it as a 12-month course, because don't forget, during the 12 months, you're applying to you, applying to you, applying to you. And then during each month, you'll have homework. You'll be working with each other. There's 10 mentored sessions, which means you're actually going to do a session with a client, like not someone in the group, but a client will mentor and help you. That is how you're going to build the belief that I can. Confidence. Okay. And that's what Bonnie writes in, fear of not being good enough. It's the confidence. Exactly. And the thing about that I have discovered for myself when it comes to coaching is it comes from in here. It's not a script. It's not a to-do list. It's not a tick, tick, tick box. It's like, and that's why when Lynnette and I collaborated and we're adding the intuition part to this work, it's like, right? Because when it comes from the heart,
mountains are moved, forgiveness is given, peace is had.
And the other thing I'm getting guided to say as well, there's lots coming in right now. The other big thing that will happen, guaranteed 199% over the air, like 199%, that's my dad's expression, is you will leave the course in a level of self-love that is so much bigger than Mount Everest. And when we learn to love ourselves, all sides of ourselves, then anything is possible. And that's why for me,
yeah, even that side of ourselves that's like, ooh, I don't want to tell anybody that exists. Only you know about it.
Yes. And so what is that worth, like actually getting to a point that you are in awe and in love with who you are? Yeah. Amazing, eh?
Yeah.
Jan writes, and attracting those who reflect back to you. And so then it becomes like a heavy weight.
Yeah. Yeah. And we are all doing that. We're all attracting the people who are mirroring back our insides, right? Nobody's doing anything to you guys, right? Not to me either, right?
And that's why when we teach creating conscious business in the course, it's near the end, because then you've already done the mind, body, spirit work. You've already done the energy work. You've already done some light body. You've already done intuition. So it's kind of like the cherry on the cake. And if I actually told you guys that creating conscious business doesn't cost money, you might have to spend a few bucks to create a website, and maybe a few dollars to create what do they call business cards, if you choose to have in-person business cards.
Which I don't have, by the way. Of course. I know. One of my girlfriends is like, I'm just going to design you one. I'm like, okay, just do that. Because I'm like, you know what? I'm so enmeshed in universal law. I'm like, they'll call. They're supposed to.
Because creating a conscious business is your divine aligning with that and allowing it to create.
And you can't miss anything when you're in your divine alignment. You can't, when you are working from a conscious perspective. With that, what I, to dive in a little bit deeper, that is, getting the clients, maintaining the clients, getting a business, growing your business, and doing it, in a grounded manner. That means, creating a business name and website and checking account and, all the things.
Yeah. Right? And we'll talk about the left brain stuff, how much to charge. Maybe we'll spend a few minutes on that in a second. How much to charge, how to know when to raise your price. How do you raise your price? Right. So Lynnette, maybe I'll ask you guys, and Lynnette, maybe ask you guys first, how much do you believe an intuitive coach would charge? Like, what do you guys think? I don't know what you started at, Lynnette. I don't know if you remember, but she's like,
back in 1999, how much did I charge?
So what do you guys think? Type in, how much do you think of an intuitive coach charge?
1999.
So I'm going to guess this is per hour. Alvaro writes 108. Okay, I'm going to guess that's per hour. Anyone else? Depends. 200 per hour, up to 600.
125 an hour, whatever they think they can charge. Exactly.
25. 25 is Julie. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's the great thing. You get to choose.
Yeah. Yeah. And it really is what you choose, right? We both charge a little bit more than that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I do. I'll just tell you, my intuitive sessions for 1 hour is $7.25. Somebody squeaked.
I heard people's heart just go into panic attack mode.
Coaching's different, but that's the intuitive session, right? But here's the great thing. When you are, working with your money conversation, you work with it with your clients too, right? Because your clients are going to reflect back who you are, universal law, right? And so we'll talk about that, and you'll see that your clients start succeeding and you're succeeding too. Yeah. It's crazy how it works, but it does.
And the thing is, as you start to believe in yourself, your rate will go up, and then you'll believe in yourself more, right? So my rates, most of you guys know, are anywhere from $200 to $300 an hour, depending if you do a package or not, right? And I do punch cards because I love clients returning, and that is an incentive for clients to keep coming back. Because I don't do the weekly that Lynnette does. We do something slightly different. But you get to choose, right? You get to choose. So, I started at about $125 an hour, and that was about 7 or 8 years ago. And I've always gotten the hit to raise your price, And we'll teach you guys what to do when you get that hit, how to listen to it, why you get scared, why you run away, right? But people pay, I want to say hand over fist, because it's what Jan wrote, because they leave feeling relief.
Exactly. And the great thing about it too is that when you're living your work, your purpose, it's all passion. It's what you enjoy, so it doesn't feel like work. And the expansiveness of watching, what you love flourish, it's amazing. It's beautiful. It really is. And I don't want that whole hour. I can feel you guys. And it's like my head. It's like, I don't want you to let that whole get in your head. You charge whatever you want to charge, whenever you want to charge it. If you want to say, hey, love offering, hey, bring me dinner, 2 chickens, whatever, that's your money conversation. And that's why we spend time on money.
And the only reason I asked you guys what you feel people would charge is because if your mind, like I know when my husband took his training program, what we do is, what we did was we said, okay, this course is going to cost, I think his program was about $15,000. It's going to cost $15,000. It's a 4-month course or whatever it was. I don't remember. And you're going to make, I think he makes about $60 or $70 an hour. So how long will it take us? This is left brain, right? This is the way I was raised.
We need to use that. Yeah, we need to use our left brain.
And that's why I brought the questions up. Just so for those of you who are firing your left brain, okay, if I'm paying this for the course, how much am I going to make? How long will it take, right? I only did that, not for you to fire in fear and, oh my God, and because we'll take you through that. That's why we do money and intuition prior. So, okay. What is the minimum time of a session to hold space for a client? Great question, Alvaro. What is the time minimum to hold space for a client?
The least amount of time? Do I understand that question right?
Yes.
So, 5 minutes? Like 15 minutes? You can do, so when I did training, when I did the certification courses with Doreen, we did just like, you could sign up for like 15-minute sessions. You can do a 15-minute session, piece of cake. Did that make sense? Is that what you were asking, honey?
I know, and if you want to add the coaching part to it, though, you probably need more than 15 minutes. Right?
Right. Okay. So when you're talking about holding space, okay. So my coaching sessions, the sessions that I do are 45 minutes to an hour, and they're once a week. And on top of that, there's an energy session that I do myself for just that client once a week. So.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
I find the minimum if I'm working with a client as a touch-up, we'll do like half an hour, right? But traditionally for myself, sessions are an hour. Right. I find an hour is almost like, a basic, because for myself, I find when you hit about 70 minutes, the client isn't absorbing anymore, kind of past that level.
It's too much. Yeah.
And usually sometimes with some of my clients, it takes them 25 to 30 minutes to just start to talk to me about what's happening, right? And that's not abnormal, right?
Right.
And then just to have that conversation and to teach them something, because as coaches, we're taking them into processes, we're guiding, we're teaching them emotional scale, we're teaching them, stuff. And I find that takes time too. So the question is, if you start this business, what do you say to your first client? What are my credentials? Have been working for myself for a long time, and I have been reading a lot of books. Lynnette, do you want to grab that one?
That's so great, because that's exactly the stuff we're going to talk about in the course, because this is really about, there's this thing, because it's how we feel about ourselves. My first client didn't ask me anything because I felt confident. And so she knew she felt confident, didn't ask me anything, just asked me, where's my training, my certification? I was like, oh, you're going to meet people who you are, your energy, you're going to meet people. whether it's, standing in line at the grocery store, or, online in Facebook, or, at work, whatever. You're going to bounce into people who are going to just go, oh, well, so what do you do? And you say, well, I'm a success coach, right? I love to work with people, and this is what I've found is my passion.
And you'll find those conversations happen all the time. I mean, I was at the gym the other day, and a woman who's now a client of mine said, what do you do? And I said, and my line, Ursula, tends to be something like, I'm a doctor by trade. I kind of tend to say that, just kind of like that's kind of my schooling, like in one of my schooling. People know what that is. And it also, in my case, provokes interest of like, you left medicine, right? Because most of us are Canadian. It's like, you did what? Doctor by trade, but I predominantly work now as an intuitive coach. I use my body spirit principle, universal law, and I help people in all kinds of things, from relationship to money to business to health. And it's kind of like a little, elevator speech. During the course, we'll work on your elevator speech. Yep. And this client, and it wasn't because I'm an MD, right? Because if you're Canadian or American and you're a doctor, you're going to see them for intuition? Are you cracked, right? Like, no offense, Lynnette, to your son.
I got it.
So clients don't come to see me because of that. They come to see me, Ursula, because the confidence I put up when I say, yeah, I'm an intuitive coach. I help people with relationships. I help people with health. And when we work during the year on your elevator speech, we're working on you holding it, right? Because when I go, oh, I'm an intuitive coach, I don't know what to do, you feel the energy different, right?
Don't ask me what I do. Don't ask me.
And then, she asked me for my card, which I didn't have, but I brought some the next time I was there. And the first thing she said, oh, Divi, do you have her card? Next thing I knew, she was emailing. And next thing I know, I saw her sister, her best friend, and her mother. All within a month from elevator speech, right? And not once has she asked me, who did I train for with intuition? Not once has she asked me, how did I learn universal law? Not once has she asked me, how do I know this stuff?
Because you're living it. That's why.
Yeah.
Because when you guys, especially you've been reading books for 15 years, you've been studying, you're passionate about this, more than you realize. And on top of that, you have the divine wisdom of the I am within you. This is just a delay tactic. Cut it out.
And what I have found is clients, because I've worked with a lot of people who are coaches, I've worked with a lot of people who have gotten out there with and without training, and the reason I asked you guys that question, what do you think is needed? The belief in the self comes from practice, comes from people holding the space. One thing Lynnette's done for me, and anyone else who's worked with her, she's held this space of unconditional love for me, which has had me be able to trust myself. And we will do that for you. Okay, we will hold that space because you guys got this. If you're showing up, we're so excited to talk to you before January 8th, like before the course starts. Like, we're so over the moon about that. But if you guys are feeling the calling, it's because of one reason. You're meant to. Like, that's all there is. You're meant to. And there's a calling for you in the world, doing the work the way you will do it. The way you will do it. And you may never, ever actually coach. It just might be something, not even just, it may be something that you integrate into your life that puts your life on not just a fast track, but on a beautiful, conscious track. So.
Exactly. And, that's a big thing. Divi and I were talking about this, and it's, there's a lot. This is why we did this webinar, this 6-part series, not only so you guys get an idea of our technique and our personalities and who we are and how we work together, but also because we really wanted to offer some value, something for you that you would walk away from, even if you didn't sign up for the course. Because here's the big thing for us. We want the people who really want to do this work. That's who we want, of course. We want the people who are feeling that pull, who are getting hot and like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to pay for this. I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know how this is going to work. Don't worry about that. We'll work it out. We'll figure it out. Please don't let money be the reason that you're not doing this. And like I said before, I've been a participant. I've been in courses where, people, they get your money and turn around and they're just, they're not really there. And that's not going to be this. I promise. That's not who we are.
I'm going to make a joke. You might get sick of us. You'll be like, no, not them again. I'm joking. Right? We'll be there, and we're there to support and guide and help you. And I piggyback what Lynnette said. My husband, I say this joke. You might have heard this before. Every calendar year, my husband says, are you working with Lynnette this year? It's been 7 or 8 years. I'm like, uh-huh. He goes, okay. He just kind of ticks it off as an expense. Working with this year? Yep. He doesn't ask anymore why. He doesn't ask. The first few years, he kept saying, why? Haven't you figured it out yet? Don't you know it already? And he now knows that, he's watched our bank account increase. He's watched me be happier. He's watched me be less bitchy at him. And he's, and our relationship has improved. And he sort of says, Lynnette, right? And I'm like, uh-huh. And he just doesn't even ask. He doesn't, it's different.
And it's the work, it's the space that we're holding, right? And that's what we want to hold for you. We want to go on this journey with you. We want you to go on this journey with us to, explore and expand into a place that even maybe you didn't know was possible for yourself. For you to see yourself as an independent, financially successful entrepreneur. That feels a calling, right?
So cool.
Yeah.
So excited.
I know. It's going to be great. So are there any of you guys who are, when it comes to this conversation of conscious business, are there any of you guys who are not sure if that's what you want? If so, shoot us a message, because I'm going to do a process here in a second. I want to know kind of where you guys are. Are you unsure, not just about even signing up for this course, but what's your next step, where you want to be, or, how am I going to grow? Are any of you guys on the call that are feeling that tug?
Yes, what's my next step? Says Amen. Dawn says, I feel it my path. Feel it's my path that led me to Dr. Divi. Very cynical. Okay, Dawn.
Cynical. Okay.
Okay.
What? I don't understand the cynical part.
Yeah. Dawn, do you want to explain that cynical part? I know Dawn, so I think I know what she means. Okay. But Dawn, do you want to explain that a bit more?
On it. You good, Jan.
From the cards, only got 2 right. Okay. 22. Oh, tried the cards. She tried the cards.
Oh, the intuition?
At 20. Oh, right. When you flip the cards?
Right. You got 22 at 52. That's what you're saying? That's why you're doubting?
That's why she's cynical.
Okay. So this is perfect because, sweetie, you're focusing on what you didn't get versus what you did get. Remember we were talking about, we're going to, well, I don't know if we talked about this. I feel like I talked about it. We'll talk about celebrating your hits, what you get right versus what you get wrong, right?
You're a total lack of intuition, she writes.
You have a fear of total, what? Wait, was that Divi?
Fear that she has a total lack of intuition.
That's impossible. It's impossible. You're breathing. It's impossible. The only thing that this is your mind. This is your mind telling you don't have this. And you do have this, right? You have this. It's within you. It's about bringing your mindfulness, your awareness to the subtleties of it so that you can acknowledge it. Okay, there's a bunch of people wrote something.
I'm just going to read these, and if you want to grab them one at a time. Julie writes, yes, I'm a little unsure. I feel like it's my path, but I'm so exhausted, and I don't know if I'm able to handle everything. That was Julie.
Okay, Julie. So that exhaustion, honey, is because of the resistance. The exhaustion you feel is, a lot of times when we feel tired, number one, it's because we're in resistance, right? We're in contrast or whatever. Go take a nap, right? Stop the momentum. But when you're constantly tired like that, it's like you're trudging uphill. You're moving, you're going against the current. Does that make sense to you, Julie?
If you don't mind grabbing this one, Amin says, it's a great question. How do I create abundance to do this course? That is my biggest obstacle preventing me.
Awesome. So first of all, ask for it. Have you asked for it? Have you said, hey, universe, give me how much ever you want? Ask for it. Believe it. Start looking and have conversations. Have conversations with Divi and I. Yeah. Like, hey, I want to do this. I really want to do this. How can I work this out? Start looking. There are 9 ways to solve any problem. And remember what Einstein said, you cannot solve a problem with the same mind that created it. So I'm going to ask you to go beyond what you've known in the past and start thinking about what it would feel like to be abundant, to go, you know what? Like I told you guys in one of the first two webinars is like, when I did that with my coach, I was like shaking. I was like, I cannot believe I'm going to spend this kind of money. What am I doing? But I felt the pull. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I felt the pull. Now, I'm not saying be irresponsible. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying listen to the guidance, listen to the pull, trust it, and have responsible conversations, right? And we'll figure it out. We'll work it out. This is what this is all about. 9 solutions to every problem.
So Abby writes, I went to school for holistic nutrition and originally thought I want to continue school to become a naturopath, but something was not sitting. There was still a huge amount of knowledge that process couldn't teach me in order to feel complete. I want to help people more than anything, and people are naturally drawn to come to me for advice, and I'm the happiest person when that happens. But I love children, so I'm not entirely sure who my target clients are. I feel like I've changed paths a lot, and I'm scared I'm going to change from this, even though this feels different. Sorry, that was so lengthy, she writes.
And who was that?
That was Abby.
Abby, okay. So Abby, part of the reason why you're doing that little jumping around is like, feels a lot like, was it Amon earlier that was jumping around? It's you collecting your wisdom. You're going through, you want to realize, all you guys, that all of us, everything we've gone through, every situation, every job, whether we thought it was good, bad, or whatever, and all of that, everything that we've gone through has developed us into who we are today, to bring us to this point and to bring you to this point. So, look at all those contrasting situations and allow them to be the reason why. Like, this is why I'm doing this, because wow, look at how much I grew through this. Right? Did I answer her question, Divi?
I feel like you did. I'm going to add to that. And I think I've seen you tomorrow, Abby. I think I am. Lynnette was talking about if you feel the draw or the call, then to listen to that draw, because there's never just one thing. If you look at the list of courses Lynnette's taken, you'll be like, look at the list of courses I've taken. But what happens is that for both of us, we follow that call. And then that call then tells us who it is I'm to work with, what it is. And the fact that you were thinking of doing a naturopathic school, which is really amazing, but it wasn't settling, that's telling you a lot. And you're feeling a call with this, that's telling you a lot, right? We will not mislead you. I mean, it's not just us, but that call will not mislead you.
Exactly.
And I'm such a big believer that our souls have, if you want to call it contracts or knowings or, yeses to them. And when we listen to that call, then we're never on the wrong path, ever. And every additional course that Lynnette and I have taken has never been a wrong course, ever. And this has never been the wrong step. So I hope that helps, Abby. Let me know. And then Bonnie writes in, I've been practicing flipping cards as well, and I've discovered I don't get mad at myself for making a mistake. It's just getting better.
That's right. And every time you do that, when you don't judge it, right, you just go, oops, oh well, okay, just keep going. And practicing that energy, you're going to find out, Bonnie. Watch. That's awesome.
Julie and Abby say, yep, it makes sense. And Alvaro has one more question. It feels good, still had to make it happen. My guess is that it has to be like that, and it's up to us to open up for the ride.
Yeah, I guess it is up to us to open up for the ride, right?
Yeah. And trusting that it can keep getting better and better and better. And we're trying to figure out how we kind of put ourselves in the back seat.
Exactly. I mean, it's like you wouldn't have known that something that seemed so bad that happened years ago could bring so much beauty into your life. So, I mean, it's like taking those lessons, right? No mistakes. There's never any mistakes, folks. No mistakes. Even when they seem like it, there are no mistakes, only lessons, only experiences to learn.
Awesome. Perfect. All right. I think we're good. Yeah. Everyone says thank you. Thank you. I think. Any other comments, or how are you guys feeling? Are we good? Say yes. Thank you. Okay, got it. Alvaro says thank you.
Good.
Thanks,
Good.
someone says. Awesome. Perfect.
Good.
Perfect.
So we thought that we would leave you tonight with a process that it's great. It's a great process to do anytime you want to try on something new, like trying on this course, or trying on starting a business for yourself, or should I go down this path? Should I go this way? Like, had an emergency call today. Who was I got to make it. I have to tell them today, yes or no. I don't know what yes or no. I have to tell them today. What do I do? Right? And it's like, her career was like, which way do I go? And there's going to be times people are going to call you. Which way do I go? Right? And this is a great process that you can use, and you can feel it and feel each of the paths and see which one feels more aligned. Which one, I always look at it that we have a choice. Our life is a movie, and it can be an Academy Award winner, or it can be a slasher flick, one of those B rolls, right? And I love movies. And so, let's try on the indie, the Sundance winner, the Academy Award winner, right? And let's try on the other ones and see, so you get a sense of what they feel like, so that when those choices come to you, you can make it with an energy choice as well as a logical choice, because the brain is always going to tell you logic. Okay, that's great. But sometimes our logic is based in a fear of something we learned from our family of origin that stopped us from being successful, right? Does that make sense, guys? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, good. Okay. So, I don't have any music to put on. So everybody just go into your relaxation space. And remember, if you listened to the call, or you were on the call where we created your sacred place, go to that sacred place. And if you weren't on the call, just let your body relax. Go into a complete relaxation phase. Taking deep breaths in and letting them go. And with every breath in, calling back all your energy from the day. And then with your exhale, releasing any energy that's not yours and allowing it to go back to its place of origin. Good. And moving your shoulders, just feeling settled, feeling comfortably supported. Good. Good. I want you to see that beautiful golden sun, the heart of all the light, heart of all the suns above your head. It's washing down into your crown chakra, this beautiful golden light. Just allow it to come in. Allow your body to just soak it all up. And as every cell drinks in this beautiful golden light, it aligns with the divine within you. It brings forward more light and releases any fear or any toxins, anything that's not in alignment with this new energy, with this new purpose. And allow that beautiful golden light to just wash through all your chakras, washing down your legs, down your ankles, out through your feet. And I want you to imagine you're in your sacred space. This place can be a meadow, it can be someplace in nature, it could be anywhere you want, someplace where you feel completely nourished, safe. And notice the environment. If you've been here from the last journey we took, see if there's any changes. And just be very comfortable, feel so warm and protected in this beautiful space. Feeling the wind on your skin. Smelling the beautiful fragrances. Seeing the colors, the textures. Good. And now I want you to call to you. Notice in this sacred place. You can call to you your divine support team just by simply thinking of them. These are all your ancestors, your guides, your angels, archangels, your guardian angels, all the ascended masters, all your teachers. These are all the energies of the light that are invested in supporting you. And they're surrounding you with love. You feel their support. As you walk towards this beautiful medicine wheel, and you step into it, and you see it has a center, and out of each center is the spoke. As of the center is different spokes, and you walk into the center, and you notice that each spoke is a pathway. And each of these pathways represents, and consider it to be all the different pathways that you desire to choose from. Whether it's starting a business, taking this course, what to have for dinner, anything that you are desiring to choose. Maybe, asking for a raise or a promotion. What's my purpose? Any choices. Notice that as you turn around in that circle, that all these pathways are lighting up. And you'll notice that they have different colors and different variances of light. So I want you to go to the first pathway, step up to it, and imagine that you're stepping all the way onto the pathway. Just take a step forward. And as you do, you notice, you feel in your body what it would feel like to make this choice. And then see yourself walking more on the pathway. See what your life looks like. If you made this choice, how would you feel? See your future self. How does that feel? What does it look like? Good. Now step back to the center and choose another pathway. And step onto it. And notice the difference in this pathway and the other. The differences might be very subtle, or they might be very drastic. Whichever it is, it's fine. You're safe. All your guides are here. Take a couple more steps and notice how your body feels. Notice especially your jaw. If it feels tight, how does your body feel relaxed? Does it feel excited? Does it feel nervous? Does it feel anxious? And breathe. You're fine. Step off the pathway. We're going to go to one more pathway. And pick one that's different than the others. And step onto it. Feel how it feels. Notice the difference between the first pathway, the second one, and this one. Are you feeling floaty? Are you feeling lighter? Is it feeling easier? Do you feel like you want to run, or do you feel like you want to just go back to the center of the circle? You may see colors. Just keep breathing. And go back to the center of the circle. And as you go back to the center of the circle, you feel completely peaceful, completely connected to the divine within you. And now you're going to make a choice. Ask the divine within you, feel within you, what feels for my highest, greatest good in this situation, in this choice? Which feels best for me? For me, what feels best? Knowing that you can never make a wrong choice, knowing that everything is perfect. And now I want you to join back with the elders, with your divine support team. Walk out of the medicine wheel, acknowledging every path and being grateful for the experience. And now just be present to the awareness and thank your divine support team. And when you're ready, come back with this awareness, this experience, and feeling light, free, empowered, and committed to yourself, to the divine within you. And just come back into the room, come back into this awareness and this time and this space. Open your eyes. Ooh. How are you guys doing? I could feel some of you. Wow. How was that, guys?
Great. Thank you both so much. Great. Wonderful. Great.
Good.
In the, I'll get that to Dawn in a second. That was really cool. I'll get yours in a second, Dawn. Great. So Dawn.
Okay.
Okay. Is the course and cost outline? Awesome, says Bonnie.
That's good.
So Dawn, I'll send you an email. I sent out Dawn's in the 6-month course. So
Okay.
Dawn, I did send an email to you guys, but I'll send you a private one tonight after we finish off. So the price and stuff like that are on there for you to join in January. But I'll send it to you privately. So just keep your eye out for that. But it was sent to the group about 3 weeks ago. So cool. Yeah, I'll send it to you. Julie writes this. Juliet, third path gave me anxiety. Note to self: don't take that path.
Right, Julia. Were you able to know which path it was?
Yeah, no problem. Julie says, no, I wasn't.
Okay, that's good. That's fine. You can try that exercise again. And, what I would suggest is you can ask, what pathway is this? Or you can assign the pathways. This is the pathway if I take the course. This is the pathway if I don't take the course. This is the pathway if I go to med school. This is the pathway if I don't go to med school. This is if I do, right? Dawn, the path was lit and so clear. Yeah.
Aman wants as a question, where is the in-person part of the course and the location? Do you want me to grab that one?
Yeah.
Okay, that's easy. I get the easy question. So Aman, we're pretty sure we're probably going to do it in Seattle. So just a short drive from here. We can carpool, go together, drive individually. We're thinking of Seattle just because it's a one flight for Lynnette. And for most of us are Vancouver, so there are a lot of Americans joining as well. It's a great hub. It's easy to get to. We did it in Whistler last time, and it was just that extra jaunt, which was awesome. We're thinking Seattle. We don't have the dates yet, only because of one reason. I need to get the numbers together and then find the location. If I went with a small number, whatever, then So, but it won't be. We're many months out for it. So, which takes me to the next part. If you guys could let us know by January 7th or 8th, and the bonus you get is you get to hang out with both of us for 15, 20 minutes. And, we've done it with a few of you guys, and it's fun, isn't it? It's incredible. Those calls have been through the roof. So let us know by the 8th. That would be great. And just imagine what life will be like for a full year of the two of us in your living room every week.
And, one of the things I wanted to point out, too, is that you'll notice that Divi and I are not used car salesmen. We're not going to go, sign up now. We're not.
Good point.
That's not our personalities. It's just not who we are. And that's why I want you guys to know, to see, this is just how we're doing it. This is us, how we're doing it, and not attached, and just totally get that it's our offering. Right. So we're not going to bug you. We're not going to pest you. We're going to, this is what we're doing. And yay, go or not. We still love you. Right.
We'll always love you.
Love, big time love.
Yeah. And yeah, it's been an amazing webinar series. I'm almost sad it's going to end, but I'm happy for the holidays. I'm so glad to get to hang out with all of you guys.
Right. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah.
Be great.
Just want to check in. Are there any comments, questions before we wrap up, or how are you guys feeling?
Anybody have any questions about anything? Anything over the last 6?
This has been great. Thank you so much, Tanya.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Perfect.
All right.
That was amazing. Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you guys too.
You're welcome. My God. You're welcome.
Thank you guys.
So welcome. Have a wonderful holiday, Jan.
Oh, have a happy holiday.
Yeah.
Happy holidays.
Amazing. Thanks, Aman. I'll see you guys soon. Have a lovely holiday, guys.
Have a great one. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, guys.